All right, for my first pick of the divisional round six pack, I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams team total over 26 and a half. This total has come down a bit, which I don't necessarily agree with. I was thinking about under 51 and a half, but now that it's at 48 and a half, I think that it's gone a little bit too far. And I think the Rams get to at least 27 here. Don't have to mess around with all the Bears voodoo. I mean, I don't know. This doesn't seem sustainable going down multiple scores like every game. Uh, they have 7 wins when trailing with under 2 minutes to go, an NFL record. But I just can't see the Rams not doing whatever they want on offense here. I mean, like the the Rams could line up and run the ball whenever they want here. Uh, they're playing a Bears defense that overall is 28th in DVOA, 26th in success rate, 30th in EPA per play, sans turnovers. I mean, they're number one in turnover margin, number one in takeaways. That's not going to last forever. Their run defense is 28th in DVOA, 27th in rush success rate. By the way, another a prop that I really like that I consider for the six pack is Blake Corum over longest rush, 11 and a half, 12 and a half. I think his median is 15. He has one carry of at least 12 yards in 10 of his 17 games. If you remove the opener when he only had one carry, but he also didn't see a workload increase until around week 7, and his percentage of explosive runs is significantly higher with Dotson. Right, his explosive run percentage dropped at the end of the year. I think Dotson's going to be back. He's one of the best run blocking offensive linemen in the NFL. He'll help Corum a lot because Corum runs a lot inside and then he runs a lot of outside zone. The Bears, by the way, are 30th versus outside zone. Corum averages 1 yard per carry more than Kyron Williams on outside zone runs. So McVay can go super heavy here, run the ball whenever he wants. And by the way, TJ Edwards is out for the Bears.
Oh
The
my God.
Bears allow
Yes.
close to 6 yards per carry with
Yes.
Edwards off the field. They're already one of 5 teams that allow 5+ yards per carry. It gets even worse with Edwards. Their depth at linebacker is rough. The interior of the defensive line can't stop the run. And look, this Bears team going back to Corum has allowed a run of 12 or more yards in 15 of their 18 games to non-quarterbacks. I mean, that doesn't include long runs by Geno Smith, Shador Sanders, Malik Willis, but 23 non-quarterbacks have had a run of at least 12 yards in 18 games. 7 of the 18 games, multiple non-quarterbacks did. So I think there's a really good chance Corum breaks a couple explosive runs. Don't mind his like over rushing yards either. But look, the Bears struggle to defend heavy personnel. The Rams can
Period.
go that route. I mean, the Rams basically could do whatever they want here on offense. And the other thing is, you're going to see a lot of stats about Stafford and the cold and how he struggled. A lot of those were when he was on bad Lions teams. Like I think he has a poor record. Last year in Philly in the snow, he looked pretty damn good. I mean, Nakua went to BYU. You got your running backs all went to cold weather schools. Adams played in Green Bay. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be an issue here. You do have to worry a little bit about Stafford's finger and Adams'
Yep.
hamstring in the cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing I really worry about. But this Bears defense is pathetic. I mean, if you just look at from a points perspective, the Rams against non-top five defenses. So if you remove Seattle, Houston, and Philly from their schedule, and by the way, they should have scored 30 plus against Philly. They did score 30 plus against Seattle in one of their meetings. But if you remove the top five defenses, they averaged 30, and this Bears defense is a bottom 10 defense. They averaged 32 and a half points per game. They reached 27 in 11 of the 14 games. The Bears defense is 23rd in points allowed, despite leading the league in turnovers. They've also been pretty lucky on offense with turnovers, so you could see maybe some short fields here. And like I said, Dotson back potentially. I think he is going to be huge. I expect both coaches to be aggressive here. I mentioned that last week. I thought after that Lions game, I was like, Ben Johnson's going to go on fourth down a ton, and he did. Um, but the Bears should have had, they could have easily had more points early in that game. And the other thing worth mentioning here is the Rams defense has cratered
Hmm.
of
Okay.
late. Over the first 12 weeks of the season, they were number one in EPA per play. And
Lake went down. That was
I kept
Lake. That
bringing
was
this
when
up. I
Lake
said,
Lake went down though, right? Like week 12, I think was when Wait put in
yes,
Lake. Yeah. Okay.
but also they over the first 12 weeks, I kept bringing this up. They had so many favorable situations, right? They played the Bucks. Baker got hurt, right? Then it was just a
Hmm.
joke.
Yeah.
They played the Ravens with Cooper Rush. They played Stroud in the opener when they had offensive line injuries right before kick, and they had to flip their entire offensive line around. They played Cam Ward in his second start, Spencer Rattler. Their last 7 games, including the wild card game, they're 20th in EPA per play, and they face the Panthers and Cardinals twice each. They're giving up a ton of explosives. The Bears can hit explosives. The Rams also can hit explosives in the run pass game. Bears will give them up. So I think that the Bears can put up their fair share of points here, which will force the Rams to keep their foot on the gas. Um, so yeah, worry a little bit about the Stafford finger and the cold, the Adams hamstring, but they can go heavy and run the ball and throw to their tight ends here if they need to, and just throw to Nakua, who has the NFL record for average reception yards in the postseason, and they'll be able to move the ball just like everyone does against the Bears. So yeah, I mean, I think now that this total has come down, I think it's come down a little bit too far. I think that the Rams team total should be like 28. So um, yeah, I'll take over 26 and a half. Everywhere I look, there's advantages for this Rams offense against this Bears defense.
I in the interest of just looking at both sides of the coin, the only thing I'm surprised you didn't mention as the biggest concern, like the Rams special teams stupidness. I feel like that's one of the ways that if the Rams fall short, it would be that. I think there is some risk with, like, kind of looking at how this game is going to play out. I think potentially why the total came down, bad weather, and I actually think both coaches might be less aggressive in the sense that, okay, like Ben Johnson, he knew he had to score against the Packers last week. They came out super aggressive. Didn't really work out actually. But like now his defense is even more ravaged. And I think he's gonna feel like he can still run the ball here. So I think the Bears might just go like super heavy commit, Loveland, they and because they've been calling up a fourth tight end to play special teams. Nikola Kalinick. I think that's how you. I don't think I've ever heard his name pronounced on air because he's never caught a ball. But so they might go heavy, and then yeah, I think the Rams surprisingly went. And part of this was just trailing game script or neutral game script, but they didn't really use as much of their heavy tight end sets last week against the Panthers, which is a little bit surprising. Maybe because Devontae was back, but I do think they'll lean into more of that. So that is how you could fall short. The McVay might be trying to win like a 20-10 game or something like that, but I do agree. The Bears without Edwards, 5.7 yards per carry in the games that he's missed, 4.5 in the games that he's played. So they've been like about a league average run defense. Same thing with the touchdown rate has been better than league average. It balloons to nearly 4% in the games that Edwards has missed. And that's in addition to the fact that like you could get mismatches on them. We saw, I think it was Jaden Reed before Edwards went down. I believe it was Jaden Reed got a matchup on a linebacker. I think it was Edwards and scored or almost scored last week. So yeah, I think the Rams are going to be able to do what they want, but you never know what's going on with Stafford and that special teams unit. But I agree. I think the Bears defense is the weakest unit in this game.
Yeah, there could be some wind. It doesn't look like terrible, but there could be like 20 to 30-mile wind
Mm-hmm.
gusts.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Rams will miss an
um,
extra point. It's gonna you're gonna have to sweat out like they're gonna be stuck on 26 and you're gonna have to sweat out like the Bears turning it over and McVay going for like another field goal late or something stupid.
the other thing is the Bears don't get pressure, and that's what you need to do to throw off Stafford.
Yeah.
So he should have time, and there's just too many advantages, and I do think that the Bears can hit explosives and put up their fair share of points. I don't think like the Rams are gonna hold them to like 10 to 13 points. Uh, and this Bears team will just never stop coming. Two great offensive minds. So even with the weather and the cold, uh, I'll roll with the Rams over, and I like that Quorum longest rush over as well.